All right, welcome everybody. Apologies for our delay of a couple of minutes. Standard tech issues for the first webinar of the year. I've got Emily here as well.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us.
All right, so today we're going to cover off both the current releases of Auditomation, and then Emily's going to take care of what that means for our sorted customers as well. So two really big releases, both for our audit and sorted side. They're obviously related, and there's a lot of, I guess, development in the ecosystem, depending on if you're an auditor or an accountant. There's a lot of new functionality and integration that's now available. For those of you that made it to our December webinar, we did touch on what was coming in January, February, and now that's here. Okay, so I might just close that out. All right, and reduce this little guy as well, if I can. There we go. All right. So Auditomation. So the biggest news as part of this release is we've just released our new connected portals. Okay, so if we go up to admin, we go to connect. We're now talking about connecting your customers to you. Okay, so obviously we've had these for a very long time now. We've now upgraded these portals, and they're now built out of SMSF sorted as the platform. So this portal is effectively what your customers will now see. You can see that it really is very similar in structure to what they're used to at the moment. Slightly different color scheme. We've got a purple color scheme. Okay, really similar in the way that it works. So, you know, if they go to manage client, you know, they can import just as they did before. Really only slight variances on, you know, where things are. Choose submit to auditor, choose financial year as an example. Import data and go through a very similar process. You know, send the job over to you. You guys will get it. I will actually show you where it actually comes into a different position in your portal, which will show you that in a sec as well. Now, this means now all of the accountants that we've got using Cloudoffis will all be on an SMSF sorted portal of some sort. That's our dedicated accountants portal, and then all our auditors will obviously remain on our Auditomation. Now, this new portal will bring with it a whole heap of new functionality. Okay, it's quite an upgrade of what your customers, or if you're using this portal, or what you're currently used to. Before I get into that, so this portal is now live for any new connections that you make. Okay, so if you got a new customer tomorrow, set them up, they would get this portal instead of the old portal. For all the existing customers that you've got, we're going through a process to upgrade those customers now. So I think we've already done about 20 or 30 audit firms and their customers at the moment, and we're getting through that list. So within the next sort of month or so, everybody should be on the new platform. Okay. Now, some of the new features, we've covered off this in the webinars prior, and we did have a release even earlier last year regarding Word and Excel. So just coming back to your audit portal, if we head into the reports templates. Okay, so historically, you've all been using these legacy templates that were built out of HTML. We obviously helped you develop these when we onboarded, and these have been set up even from the start of this current financial year. This is what we actually launched with. We do now have this reports template section over here. Okay, so those old ones will now live in the legacy side of things. Within this reports template over here, we've got the ability to download Word and build out your templates in Word. Okay, so let's just show you how that works. So if we click on, you've obviously got to set up the Microsoft Office plugin. And again, we've covered that in previous webinars. There's a whole bunch of literature on that. Reach out to us if you need any help with that. But once we've done that, and this is a terrible example because there's no data in it, but anyway, you could just copy all of your letter template data straight into Word, okay? And it obviously enjoys all the features that Word has, okay? So rather than using the HTML function that we used to have, all of your Word, no doubt they're in Word already or something similar, you can just copy them all in and save. Now, you will need to do that in this new system for your new customers that are using the sorted platform, and once we've gone through the upgrade of your customers, for them to keep using your templates. Okay, so I know a lot of you have already done this over the last, I think it's been about 4 months or so since we released it. But as we cut over to this new portal, your customers from the report template screen will have access to those Word templates here. Okay, just as they did before, it's just access to the new type of template, right? Now, there is a little bit more functionality on their side. Again, we've covered off some of this already, but there's new statuses. So they've got the ability to track whether things are unsigned, signed. They can upload signed documents as well. And then they can just one-click share that back to you as the auditor once they've gotten the engagement letter or trustee rep letter signed. From your perspective, if we just go into a job that's connected with sorted, another one of the much needed features that many of you were after is the one-click transfer back to your customer once you've done the post-audit letters or reports. Okay, so at the moment, I think many of you are using queries to send that. So once again, in the actual job itself, so you can obviously access all of the templates and in the standard place and report templates, but once you've got them set up, each individual job, you'll be able to access and generate those reports, using the data in the job as you've always done. Now, once again, you've got the ability to edit those in Microsoft Office. So again, let's talk about a management letter as an example, or a document that you might need to edit with. So here we go. We've got this particular data that's been pulled out of the originally class or BGL, wherever it's connected to. Because we're using Word, we've now got the ability to insert custom paragraphs. So if you want to just spend a bit of time when you're building out your templates in Word to save some of these, it's here somewhere, this is not my computer, so here we go. Yeah, one of those auto text, I think it is. So you can actually pre-install the paragraphs into Word, and then just as you need them, go and select them, and then you can populate those on the go as well. So again, having Word instead of a Excel HTML editor just gives us the ability to leverage all of the Word's features. Right. Once that's done, all you now need to do is share with them. That's it, one click. Okay. They then get, they'll have a folder, okay, in their system. So this is also a little bit different for your customers. So they do have this a document management system here where they can upload unsorted files, choose to what files to send you, send permanent docs, and then they'll also get the audit letters and reports back into their folder as well. Okay, so again, all that functionality is now available. For any new customers moving forward that you register a new customer for, they'll get this sorted version, and everybody else, we're currently going through a process of upgrading them as we speak. It's many of you and your customers have already heard about this. If you've got any questions, please reach out to us and we can update you on the schedules. All right. As part of the Microsoft Office plugin that includes Word in Auditomation, we've also now got the ability to use Excel which again could be really handy for any of you auditors out there that have your own Excel work or template or checklist or anything that you're doing, or if you're getting Excel-based work papers from your customers. So you need to access the Excel document through the DMS, so I'll just go back and show you that once again, just so we're clear. So if we go into the job dashboard, click on documents, we've got this sample Excel document here. We can edit in MS Office, okay? So there's always going to be an office for a Word or an Excel document to edit in Office. And then you've got the ability to open it, edit. You know, I've done this a few times, so I'll just add test 5. It's going to let me enable editing. So you just make whatever adjustments that you need to, and then you can just close that out, save. And my credentials are incorrect. That's okay. So normally what would happen is that would just say to you, saved in Cloudoffis. So the whole point of it is that you can just open, edit, and close Excel Word documents in Cloudoffis without having to, download, change it, re-upload, attach it, all that sort of stuff. So again, doing our best to add efficiency there. All right. So that's the new sorted portals, and that's for all types of jobs, right? So any kind of job that's connected to your customer, that your customer is generating from their portal and sent to you, all of those features are there. Okay. Now, the next really big thing that we've released is the integration into SortedLight, which is classes work papers or new work papers or new DMS function. Okay, so obviously this only relates to those of you that are doing audits from class firms, but and that's obviously quite a portion with BGL and class having them far majority of the market. So just to update you on that, again, last time we covered this, we weren't live, so we are now. So I'll just sort of come in the class and go into the period update section. And finalize work packers. All right, so this is assuming that we've already gone and used class as the DMS. We've tagged, uploaded the documents, or the accountant has done this, I should say, and they've tagged the documents against the line items and accounts. They've now got the ability to connect this SortedLight, and this is a free product within class. They can connect that now to their new connected portal, right? What that means is, right, so they've still got all the ability to, do everything that they used to do, create your jobs, send you jobs. Now they've got the ability to attach all the documents, and they'll come over to your audit portal all pre-attached if they're using this. So they go into, I might actually just show you that. I shouldn't skip over that. Let's go back to the trial balance. So here we go. If we're in the trial balance here, you've got this link, and it's got a document management system, right? So they've got a couple of different options. You could come in and open a doc. You could choose to bookmark that doc or a certain area of the doc. Really useful for multiple, well, big PDFs with multiple different source docs in it. You could just tag a certain section of it and then go and link that tag to, let's say that was for the cash at bank account. I know it's not, but let's just say it is. And then you can close that out and keep going. All right, and now that creates a hyperlink in the trial balance for both the accountant or the auditor to use, right? So basically they can systematically go and bookmark all their reference points. They've also got the option to search, right? So they can simply just go and search. I want to go and find $100,000. And it's going to, the software's, because it's OCR, the PDFs, it's going to return all of the documents that have got 100,000 in them, right? And you can identify which one it is, and then you can go and create a bookmark and place the bookmark, okay? So once the accountant's gone in and done all the work, they've done all the bookmarking, and they're ready to transfer this job over, that's when they go to the periodic processing screen, finalize work papers, and then they hit transfer. So the initial time that they do this, or your customers do this, it's going to request a link or an integration and put in your credentials and whatnot, and just to link this sorted light section of class and the portal here, right? The standard connected portal. Once it's done, you hit transfer. If there's no customer created in that sorted portal, it will create a customer here, right? It will create that automatically. And it will also create a DMS, right? So if we go back to SortedLight, this DMS in SortedLight is effectively just a replica of what's going to be over here, right? So that's going to transfer all the work that they've done, all the hyperlinks, PDFs, reports over to their connected portal, and then they just need to go and create a job as normal. All right, so back to the client section, and then once again, so going through the process, submit to auditor, choose the financial year, blah, 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 right? Once that's submitted, if we go back to your audit portal, the difference of where this will be waiting for you now, for those of you that haven't used a sorted connection, rather than it being in the not started queue, the jobs will appear in the job queue. So if you go audit, menu item, audit jobs, submitted by accountant. And then you'll see here that it's come from sorted, and you can see it's either, it could be a BGL, could be a class job, or whatever it is. And then you've got the ability to create that job and go through the same process, of identifying, who's going to work on it, create next, and then, what, shouldn't need to mark this over here. We'll put client name down, create next, load financial data, and it's the same, right? So now here you can choose, which template that you want to use, right? So none of this has really changed. It's just a slightly different view. So once you've picked up that job, that's when we build out the dashboard as normal. So I'll actually just go back to one that was prepared. How to, yep. And that's the wrong one. Let me go back again to the dashboard. This one. All right, so we'll just skip through and go to the assets. Oh, that's the wrong one again as well. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. There we go, I've got that many Cloud 2s. All right, okay. Process, assets. Here we go. So your job will come, like as soon as you upload the job, or as soon as you assign it, I should say, and import it, all the documents are going to be pre-tagged. So this is a combined doc. We've just opened that up, and it's taken us to page 35 of 62. And that's because the accountant, throughout the year, or when they're doing their end of year process in class, has tagged the document in that free document management system in class. Again, it's quite new. Like we sort of did a soft launch in October. Your customers will hear a little bit more about it now. Once you've gone through the migration upgrade of the portals, you can ask your customers, hey, if this process works for you, there's potentially a bit of benefit for both sides if they start using this as their document management system. Okay, they get to keep all their data within class instead of another system. It directly integrates into the portal that they've been using anyway to communicate with you, and then by the time you get the job, you get to leverage the work that they might have done 2, 3, 6 months ago. Like, we're really trying to avoid a preparer over there doing something, a reviewer over there doing something, get the docs to you, then you might have an audit preparer doing something, and it's a lot of it's really just repetitive work. Okay, so once you've opened this up, it really acts the same. right? It just means the bookmark's already there. So you can delete the bookmark, you can re-bookmark it, you can, you know, leave comments, you can make highlights, all that sort of stuff. It's already there. So really, it's just skipping that process of you going and searching for the closing balance, which again, admittedly, isn't the longest process, but like if you add that up across the whole job, you know, you're talking about quite a few clicks. Yeah, hopefully you guys can find some efficiency there. All right, so that's really it. Once again, if there is any questions about any of this, any questions or assistance that you've got around the Word documents and things like that and templates to get those done, or any questions about the upgrade or the transfer of the old portals to the new portals, definitely reach out, you know, normal channels, Kevin, Emily, or Clint at cloudoffis.com.au. All right, so I'm just going to see if there's any questions here. Doesn't look like there's many, anyone. Again, to cover anything else today, we do not audit class. No, understand. We're about to cover sorted. And then obviously for everybody using BGL, we've had and still have a similar integration into the BGL Workpapers product. Again, we've covered off this a couple of times as well, but if you have customers using the BGL Workpapers product, the documents do come across as well. All right, you just need to go into them one by one and just convert it to a Cloudoffis document, and then you'll be able to see the documents there. The documents are itemized account by account by account if the accountant has done it that way. So they can either save them on the Workpaper screen in BGL at the heading level, or they can itemize them to the account level. Totally up to them what they do. It also pulls across a whole bunch of reports. So here, as an example, we've got the investment movement summary. Okay, so what this means, you know, for the majority of the market, you know, whatever market share BGL and Class have, we've now got this exclusive integration to both of their document management systems or their Workpaper platforms, and we'll bring those in and create the audit job for you in the system, which is great. All right. So doesn't look like there's many other questions. We're gonna just also give you an update. This is, as I said at the start, it's a bit of a double update, I guess. So, you know, the first half an hour was for Auditomation users. The second half an hour is mainly for sorted users. And again, there's big news for sorted users. So just to confirm, that's paid sorted users. So in our ecosystem, we're going to have a few different types of users. So we've got paid sorted users, which is, you know, a Workpaper platform, automation, and all that sort of thing. Then we've also got free users that use SortedLight in class that are just using the inbuilt DMS in class. And then we've got connected portal users. So any of your customers that are just connected to you to create jobs, answer queries, track jobs, access your templates like before. So we've got a few different iterations of accountants, different levels within our ecosystem using different versions of the portal. But the good thing about having everything on one platform is, you know, over a period of time, if they start using different things, that portal can all communicate as one effectively. So it just really makes sense to pull everything together for the accountant side, no matter what kind of relationship or what kind of platform that you're currently using with Cloudoffis. All right, I think we'll just give people a couple of minutes for those that were going to log on at 11:30 to see sorted. I think another question's popped up. Looks awesome. Such a big move forward. Thank you very much, Michael. All right, guys. Thanks again. Any other questions shooting through? But yeah, we'll just go dark for a couple of minutes, and then Emily will be back for everybody that wants to see everything to do with SMSF sorted. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for sticking around for the second half of our seminar. I'll just wind my little control panel to the side. Okay, so as Clint mentioned, this half of the session will really be looking at the updates we've made to SMSF Sorted. So Clint went through very well the changes that have come to Auditomation and the efficiencies we've added to the. And obviously some of those benefits go hand in hand to what we are offering on the sorted portals as well. So today I'm just going to cover two things. We're going to look into the SMSF Sorted Light and Sorted Pro integration for our Sorted Professional and Enterprise clients, and look at how that's going to improve things for you on the accounting side. Clint did demonstrate how that can really improve things for the auditor, and you know that they're going to have things bookmarked to line items from the get-go. So I'll kind of go into how that will also benefit on the accounting portal. And then we're also going to look at our new AI tools. So some of you would have already seen these already. Our beta versions have been available on some portals for a little while they've been tested, but we've now rolled that out across all our sorted professional and enterprise users. So I will go into some of those tools as well. Okay, but to begin with, we might just have a look at our Sorted Light integration. So first and foremost, for our sorted professional and enterprise users, you can activate, if you haven't already, the Sorted Light functionality, which is in class. So you just do that through integrations and set that up. But once you've set that up, you will be able to go in to the Workpaper screen in Sorted Light and click this button here, which is link your sorted portal. And that'll prompt you to just kind of, once you click that, you'll be prompted to enter your sorted professional portal login details. And once you've done that, you've established a link for all users between the Light portal and the Pro portal. So just a bit of background there, they are still two separate portals. You can log into both separately. So Sorted Professional, your normal logins you've always used. Class, Sorted Light, you just log in through class. Okay, so they are two separate standalone portals, but you now have the ability to link them. And just a bit of a kind of a note there that they do link via ABN. So just make sure when you are registering your class Sorted Light access, you just use the same ABN you've used on your professional portal. Okay, but once you've set that up, you're going to have the functionality where you can actually transfer the data that you've got in Sorted Light. So if you've gone through and bookmarked documents, you have the ability then to transfer those across to your professional portal. So I'll just jump into class and just show you a little bit what it looks like. Essentially, as Clint already demonstrated, you in class, in Sorted Light, you can go in and upload your documents. Okay, so from the trial balance screen, you just go click upload, you're taken to the Sorted Light screen. I'll just do it now. Okay, and from there, you can just drag and drop or click to upload your docs. Once your docs are in Sorted Light, much like you do in Sorted already in your professional portals, you have the ability to use the magnifying glass or search for chart name to bookmark your document against a line item. In this case, we're bookmarking against the trial balance, so that's probably the biggest change for you guys compared to your financial statements there. But once it's bookmarked against the trial balance, what you can actually do is transfer those, so then they'll sit on your SMSF sorted professional portals against the same line item. Okay, so once we've linked, and I'll show you now, you'll come up and you'll go into the Workpaper screen. So if we just jump in for this particular year. Okay, this is what I refer to as the Sorted Light Workpaper screen. When you're in here, you'll see that you've got a button here, and it's either going to say transfer or reimport and sync. Now, transfer is actually a bit of a does everything button. It's really good. So once your portals are synced and linked together, when you hit transfer in a fund, this is when the job doesn't yet exist on your professional portal, right? So transfer is going to do three things. It's going to import the job to your professional portal, import the fund rather to your professional portal, create the job on your professional portal, and transfer any docs over that you've got in Sorted Light over there. So it's really good. It does everything button, that one. And the other button, which is the Reimport and Sync button, that one is visible when you've already got a job sitting in the other platform. So Reimport and Sync button will be visible either here, if you've already got a job that exists, or when you're on your sorted portal, you'll have that button available either here on the job dashboard, or it's also visible here in your DMS rather. Okay, so you're going to have that button and you can click it from either portal, and that button has two functions. It will transfer documents across, that's the sync part, and the Reimport is quite similar to your Reimport lead schedule button you have at the moment. So if you're on your professional portal and you want to pull in updated financial data from class, you can hit Reimport and Sync. It'll bring in documents, but it'll also update your financial data. If you don't want to update your financial data, you just want to send your docs across, you should hit that button from class itself, okay? Because that's not going to send your financial data over. So I say class, but I mean SortedLight. So you'd be hitting Reimport and Sync here. Okay, so that's a really clever feature. And I think what I wanted to speak to today, and I think what a lot of our Sorted Pro and Enterprise clients will be wondering, is what's the best way to use it in your situation when you do have the benefit of having both portals. And my advice really there is I would use the class SortedLight DMS as like a day-to-day tool. So when you've got kind of administrative staff reconciling a fund, they're coming in here, they can enter a bank statement, be in the trial balance screen and tag the documents against the line item for the bank account while they're in there. Okay, so they could kind of be doing that through the year, and when you get to time to kind of wrap up your fund and finalize your fund, all those docs will be in there. So those administrative staff, they don't actually need to log into Sorted Pro to do that. They can do it here from the class side. And then your accounting staff, and when you're preparing and getting the work papers together and then reviewing the funds, they can hit that transfer button or the Reimport and Sync button and take advantage of the work that's already been done through the year. So that's my big recommendation. Do use both, but the class integration is kind of throughout the year, and you'll still be using your Pro portal to take advantage of all the reviewer tools, the work papers and observations, and obviously the compiling the work papers as well. Okay, so that is really the SortedLight integration. If you need any help getting that set up or integrated, please just reach out to either myself, Clint or Kevin, or the support email address, and we'll be able to help you do that. But it is really just a quick process. That initial icon, just jump back to that for a moment, link your sorted portal. That's just a one-time exercise that will need to be done, and then all users will then see either the transfer or the Reimport and Sync button. Okay, so now I'm going to move across and look at our AI tools. If you just bear with me a moment, I'll be just jumping into another sorted portal. Okay, now with our AI tools, I know that many of you probably have seen one version of this tool or another. So they are still in their beta version. Our team have been busy building them out, but they are still in their beta version. And some of our sorted users have had them active on their portals for a little while. We have been rolling it out to get it tested and test the real world functionality of these tools. And our feedback really has been excellent. So I want to go into those today because we've now rolled them out to all our Sorted Professional and Enterprise portals, all our clients. So I'll go into those today. So we have two tools. We have a Wrap AI tool that's used to reconcile Wrap holding balances, cash balance, income receivable, and your annual tax statement, the tax components. And now we have also, which is quite new, the ATO Reconciliation AI tool. And that one will reconcile your pay-as-you-go instalments, so the annual amount of instalment paid in the financial year, or your quarterly BAS amounts. Okay, so I'll just jump into my demonstration fund here. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to notice when you come into this, I might just, sorry, just jump into my correct fund. This is the one we want. The first thing you'll notice, and you probably already have noticed, is you've got some additional warnings sitting in your observation column. Okay, and they do flag, we have indicated here that they are the beta versions. Okay, so what you need to do when you see those is just, you can leave them there at this point and come into your DMS, right? And what we need to do is just get the system to run AI. And that means just scan the docs in your DMS and use the AI functionality to pick out the figures. That'll make more sense in a moment. But what you don't need to do anything specific to tell the system which documents are either wrap statements or ATO statements, but just upload them to your DMS as you usually would. And then you just come up here and you'll have this cloud icon and you just need to hit this run AI icon. Okay, it just takes a moment while the system searches for documents and it will automatically identify what it needs to scan. You'll just see a little logo up here whilst it's thinking. And when that happens, you'll be prompted with a pop-up to view the AI it has processed. So we'll just demonstrate that. And that'll take you to this screen here, okay? And it gives you a summary of what it's read. In my case, I'm demonstrating both, so I have got multiple wraps set up. I would not expect, hopefully, you guys don't have this many every time. And you can see ATO down the bottom. So you can see it's given us a bit of summary what data it's pulled off the report. And this is just to indicate, you know, how it's matched, that the report applies to this specific fund. So whether it be account number or ABN or TFN, and just indicate if it did match them up. Okay, so if you've perhaps uploaded something for the wrong fund, it will mismatch and it won't try and reconcile, which is very clever. So once you've done that, you can come into this screen and have a bit of a look if you like, and then you can jump straight over to your observations. And what you should see, if everything has gone well and the data is reconciled, those observations, those new observations will be sitting in your good to go column. Okay, I'll just jump in there to show you what those observations are. So you do have to run the AI first, and when that's happened, you'll see everything's moved over here. So if I just expand this for a moment, I just pick her up. You'll see we've got our holdings that we've got from our financials, and then we've got the holdings that the wrap statement has, is on the issued wrap statement, okay? So if everything's going well, we're not going to see any red flags down there. If we did see a red flag, we would also have a difference in this variance column here at the end. And that would, you know, prompt further investigation. And as part of that, I would go back to the original wrap statement and just verify the data as well. So I'll show you that in a moment. I'll jump into that now, actually. I'm going to go back to my documents screen and show you how you can do that. So it's back in this View AI folder. So if we're in here and we did notice something hadn't been read, or maybe there was an adjustment that you wanted to account for, you can see the wrap statement in full here, and you can see the figures our system's pulled off. So these are editable, although I haven't seen you know, an error with the scan at all, so there's been no need to edit them for that purpose. It's more that if it was a rounding variance that your financials hadn't accounted for, you might want to drop off the rounding there. So you can come in and update those and do that from here. Okay, now, one of my favorite features with the AI tool related to wraps is the tax component reader. So I'm going to pop this one out, and this is still sitting in my warnings column. And that's actually because I have an additional wrap here, my Macquarie, that I haven't scanned. So if we look at my other wraps, maybe, yeah, Hub 24 is good. See, I've got no warnings here. And the components that have been taken off from my accounts have matched the components from the consolidated tax statement in the wrap report. So this is, yeah, probably one of my favorite features of the wrap reader. And I think we can all see the time-saving benefit of that one. And it's something, you know, we would love to roll out across all tax statements as well, not just wrap statements. So please, yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. I'll also mention now the ATO Reconciliation Wrap tools. So if I just jump back over here, these ones I have already scanned, so we're in my good to go column. As I said, it's going to reconcile your annual pay-as-you-go and or your quarterly BAS. So if I just expand these two, you'll get a bit of indication. So these two observations down the bottom here, that's related to the ATO AI tool that I'm speaking to. So with the pay-as-you-go reco, it's actually going to match either your integrated client account statement that you can run out of the ATO portal, or you can print out the, you know, the quarterly ATO report, which kind of shows them in a single line. And it'll pull those off the ATO statement and put them in these columns here. The gross figure that comes from the tax statement, that's actually off the income tax return just before your tax payable, that figure there. So it is going to match your gross, your totals. So don't expect to see a breakdown in your instalments by account. That's how it's supposed to work. And there's no red flag, so no difference indicated. The observation does run off this final column here. Okay. Another thing I really like about this observation tool is we have dropped the supporting document in the observation itself. So if there is any issue, you can come in here and actually view the source doc right from the observation as well. Okay, so if you had a discrepancy, you can do that. And if I just jump down to the GST here, much the same way, it's just matching your quarterly lodged based on the ATO report with your quarterly amount per your financials. Okay, again, you'll get a difference. So, you know, these are two really good tools. When you look at them the way I've just done them now, it probably does look a little bit convoluted because I've gone through and I've read my AI, then I've gone into view them and I've opened up the editor and all of that. But in a real world sense, I wouldn't be doing that. My recommendation for using this tool would be really to just come into a fund, jump straight into your DMS, go back there, and just hit your run AI icon, okay? Once that's run, I wouldn't necessarily go and view what have been read at that point. I think to save time at that point, I would just go straight over to my observations and just see what had been cleared and what had been left. And if I still had items outstanding, that's when I'd potentially come back and view my source doc. Because one that I potentially could see you needing to edit and adjust in the process AI folder here is probably your June BAS. So maybe, you know, you've uploaded your statement or printed out your statement, downloaded it before you may have made a June amendment. So if that were the case, I would recommend once you've seen your observation hasn't cleared, come back to view here and you can edit and just adjust, you know, update your June installment there. And then it'll refresh your observation and clear that out to the good to go column as well. Okay, so those are our new tools that we're very excited about. As I said, the wrap feature is in its beta version. So this will be available on, sorry, not just the wrap feature, the wrap and ATO Reco. So both those AI tools are in their beta version, and we would welcome as much feedback as you would like to give us on those. So if you're testing, doing funds, you know, test it out, please put it through its paces and give us any feedback that you have. It will be available on portals in its beta version up until the end of this financial year, so end of June. And after that, you know, we'll be having discussions about where it will go from there, because that's when the beta version will cease. But if you'd like any help, any support with those AI tools, just reach out again to support or myself. I do have some video demonstrations on how to use them. And if you'd like to give me a call and give me some of that feedback via call or email, I really would welcome that. So, you know, while it's still in its beta version, we can get the team, you know, adding any suggestions you may have like that. Okay, I might just jump in now and see if we've got any questions. Jenny, I'm just reading a question now. Okay, Jenny, yes, these are live now. So these features are available on all our sorted users portals. If you haven't got anything in your balances as per wrap column, what I recommend you do is go into your DMS, back up in here, and just make sure you've hit the Run AI icon. So if this one isn't automatically read when you're importing your lead schedule or re-importing your lead schedule, as the case may be, it is a second step to run that AI. Okay, so just come hit that and you should have the figures then pre-fill in your the balances as per wrap column. If they don't, just please reach out to me and I'll have a look at the specific example. Okay. Oh, Jenny, you did that. Thank you. I'm seeing that. Maybe just reach out to me, Jenny, and give me that specific example, and we can have a look at that. But yeah, once you've run the AI, it should pull those figures off automatically. Okay. Sorry, everyone, just reading the next question through. Thanks, Nathan. Nathan, that's a good question. I might need to clarify that. My instinct is to say, no, it doesn't, that it should read it regardless if you're grossing up your franking credits, but it will literally match what's on the tax statement. So it's going to pull that from the consolidated tax statement field. So if that's not the way it's prepared on the tax statement, then chances are, yeah, we will have a red flag. So in that case, yeah, you can either update the figure that's pulled off the tax statement, view that in the view column and the view window, or you know, mark the observation as okay and provide an explanation there. Okay. And Jenny, thank you for your next question. The difference between SMSF sorted and sorted light. So sorted light, I think Clint went into that a little earlier on, but sorted light is our workpaper tool that is provided through Class. So it's a DMS tool that we prepare with Class, and really it provides you the function of bookmarking, uploading documents into Class through that trial balance screen and bookmarking items to your trial balance. Sorted Professional, obviously, as we've just had a look, if you know, jumping into the dashboard, we do that, but you also have all these other tools, and really it's, you know, designed to not just as a bookmarking and workpaper tool, but you've also got, you know, those layers of review and the functions of review with your firm. We've got the automations with the observations, the workpaper tools as well. Okay, and obviously if you're connected with our Cloudoffis auditors, we've got that kind of direct submit to auditor in through here as well. Okay, and I guess just for clarity as well, we also obviously now we're talking about 3 sorted platforms. So we've got SortedLight, and then we have the product Clint spoke of earlier, which is our complementary portal for accountants, which I've started calling Sorted Connect. I don't think it's really taken off yet, but that's what I'm advocating for. And that's really a tool that, again, it's a complementary portal, and that is not a workpaper tool. It's literally a platform for the accountants to import their funds, create the jobs, send it across to the auditor, respond to any queries, and receive the audit engagement letter, trustee rep letter, or the post-audit management letter and audit report. So yeah, technically three sorted portals we've spoken of today. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. And Joyce, you've asked when we can upload Word and Excel documents to Sorted. So you do have the functionality to upload them as it is. I believe you're probably speaking of a similar plugin that Clint demonstrated with the audit portal. So I don't have an update on that one at this stage, but thank you for raising that. We will definitely take that back, and I will have an update on that one for you guys soon. Okay. All right, I hope I've caught everyone's question there. We're just coming to the end of the session. Yeah, from Clint and myself, thank you all for joining us. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. And yeah, best of luck for the year ahead. It's great to kick off the year with this webinar, and we're looking forward to 2022. All right, everyone, thanks a lot. We'll wrap it up now. Thanks.